Hello, second grade Smarties, and welcome to Lesson 6 in our Wit and Wisdom reading on a season of change. So we're going to hop right in, and we're going to start with our big pizza question. Remember, we cannot answer this question in one lesson. We have to think about how these lessons are helping build our knowledge to answer this big pizza question. All right, here we go. How does change impact people and nature? Our pizza slice question, we take little bites of this a week at a time. Our pizza slice question is, how do changes in fall weather impact people and nature? And one of our pizza bite questions is, what's happening and how do you know it's fall? Remember, How Do You Know It's Fall is the book that we have been exploring for the past couple days. And one of our other pizza bite questions is, how do I use topic sentence to organize my informative paragraph? So remember yesterday we had those juicy details that would go in the middle of an informative paragraph, and we had to figure out what the topic sentence would be. What would be the sentence that would start our entire writing and let the reader know what and why we are writing about that topic? All right, so before we get started, we are going to talk about some vocabulary. So at the bottom right here, we have some vocabulary words that we saw in the book. So we had the words cooler, store, ripe, and celebrate. What do you notice about our glossary? What two words do we have down here from the book that are not in the glossary? Tell me in the Ed Puzzle, what two words are down here that are not in our glossary? Tell me in the Ed Puzzle. All right, it was cooler and store. So remember in the book when it's talking about the weather, the section about weather, it talks about how it gets cooler, and cooler means to get colder. And then in the book when it was talking about what animals do during fall, it was talking about how squirrels store nuts during the fall for winter. In store, it's not like a grocery store where we go to get food, but store can also be an action word, which means to collect or to keep safe for future use. So squirrels store food for winter. They collect food to keep safe for winter time. So sometimes in a glossary, we will have some words that give us definitions, but other words that we're not given the definition. But if you look over here on this page, this is called the index. Say index. Good job. So you're going to have to zoom in a little bit, get really close. But if you look on the index, it tells us what page numbers you can find to teachers make mistakes too. I have to think about what I say. So these are the page numbers that you can find these words at. So if I want to find out more about animals, I would go to page 14. If I wanted to know more about monarch butterflies, I would go to page 18. If I wanted to know all about the weather in fall, I would hit pages 9 and 10. So these tools are really crucial. They're very important in an information text. We have an index, a table of contents that gives us our chapters or sections about our topic, and we have a glossary that gives us important words and their meanings. All right, here is what we are going to do right now. We are going to read this book again, and we're going to pause every once in a while, because what we are trying to figure out is what is going on in the book. So we have talked about how we can have juicy chunks of writing that are all about a topic, but we need that topic statement. That topic statement tells me what we are writing about, and it answers a question. Today, I want us to talk about what is going on in each section. And you are going to tell me in the Ed puzzle every time we pause, okay? So we are going to start the book, and I will tell you when we are going to pause and figure out what is going on in this book and how it relates to fall. All right, here we go. Welcome, fall. Leaves change colors, birds fly south, pumpkins are ready to be picked. That is how we know it is fall. There are 4 seasons in each year. Each season lasts about 3 months. Fall is the season that comes after summer. Another name for fall is autumn. What's the weather? In some areas, the air gets cooler. Ooh, there's that word cooler in fall. There's less sunlight at this time of year. The days become shorter as the sun goes down earlier each night. Fall can be windy and chilly. We wear pants and sweaters and coats to stay warm. So I want us to think, what details did we learn about on these 2 pages? So our section is what's the weather? So what do we learn about weather in fall in this section? Think about the words in the pictures. What did we learn about the weather in fall? In fall, the weather gets blank. Tell me in the Ed puzzle. What is the weather like in the fall? The weather gets cooler, right? And so when the weather gets cooler, we have to prepare more. We can't wear our flip-flops, we can't wear our tank tops and our shorts. We have to start dressing more appropriately for the cooler season. So on this page, it talks about what we might do to prepare for that cooler weather. So we could say fall has many changes. The weather gets cooler and we wear warmer clothing. So that would be the start of an informative paragraph. So you told me in the Ed puzzle what was going on in this page about fall. Plants and animals in fall. Fall bursts with color. Some leaves turn red, orange, yellow, and brown. Then they drop off the trees. Animals use this time to get ready for winter. Many store food for the cold. Store, that means to collect. Many store food for the colder weather ahead. Squirrels hide nuts and acorns. Some birds migrate. They leave for warmer winter homes. You might hear a flock of geese honking in the sky. Monarch butterflies also migrate. They journey to warmer places during the colder winter months. So we already talked about this section of the book yesterday. We talked about what was the main topic in this sentence, in these pages, right? We talked about how animals prepare for winter during the fall months. Some animals migrate to warmer places and other animals store food for the winter months. So we talked about that chunk yesterday. We talked about the main idea in that chapter about fall. All right, now we're going to talk about kids in fall. Many crops are ready to be eaten in fall. We can pick ripe apples from trees. Yum! Apples are crunchy and sweet. In October, we pick pumpkins from a patch. We carve them into jack-o'-lanterns. On Halloween, we dress up in costumes. We go trick-or-treating. In late November, we celebrate another fall holiday, Thanksgiving. We eat a big turkey meal with our family. We give thanks for all the good things in our lives. So what was this section all about? So these 6 pages were all about what in fall? Think about the pictures. Think about this word right here. What do kids do in fall? In fall, kids blank. Tell me in the Ed puzzle. Kids like to eat apples. So in fall, kids can do many fun things. They can pick apples and eat them. They can carve jack-o'-lanterns for Halloween, and they can celebrate Thanksgiving with their families. So in fall, kids can do many fun things, right? So that would be the main topic. So you should have said something like, in fall, kids do many fun things. All right. So in those sections of the book, we had three big sections. It talked about what the weather is like in fall, what plants and animals do in fall, and what kids do in fall. So if we were going to make an informative paragraph about fall, what happens during the season of fall, what changes happen in the season of fall, we would be able to use those chapters or sections to give a big informative paragraph about what things people and animals and plants do for fall. All right, so let's move on. So we have a new paragraph. Well, we have a chunk of a paragraph, and we are going to try to figure out what our topic statement can be for this juicy section of facts. So in the middle, we have our 1, 2, 3, 4 juicy facts that need a topic statement. We need a sentence to go at the beginning so we can figure out what we are writing about and what facts we need to come after that. So we need a topic statement. Our topic statement goes before our juicy facts, and it tells the main idea. It answers the question that we need to give a paragraph for, and it comes at the beginning. So I want you to open your ears. We are going to listen to these juicy details, and we are going to figure out what we might say before the juicy details to start our paragraph. It says, in October, Halloween is a fun holiday. Kids carve pumpkins and dress up in costumes for trick-or-treating. Then comes Thanksgiving. This holiday is a time for lots of food and family. Ooh, these juicy details sound a lot like what? What kids do in fall. So let's think, what sentence could we say before that? I'm going to read it one more time. In October, Halloween is a fun holiday. Kids carve pumpkins and dress up in costumes for trick-or-treating. So 2 juicy details are about holidays in fall. Then comes Thanksgiving. This holiday is a time for lots of food and family. So I know that these juicy details are talking about holidays that happen during what season? Fall, right? So maybe our topic statement can talk about fall and holidays. So I'm going to think out loud for you a topic sentence that would work for our juicy details that we have here. So maybe I could say something like, fall has several fun holidays. Or maybe we could say, families celebrate some holidays during fall. Because I need to know why I'm wanting to learn about Halloween and Thanksgiving. When do those happen? They happen during the season of fall. So I want you to think, Miss Mason just gave you 2 ideas for a topic statement. I want you to tell me if you were going to write a sentence to go before our juicy details, what would you say? You could say families celebrate blank. Tell me in the Edpuzzle, what could be our topic sentence to help us know why we are writing about Halloween and Thanksgiving? All right, and here's our deep dive. So we are talking all about vocabulary right now because when we are reading informational books, there's a lot of vocabulary. There are lots of words that we need to understand the meanings. So we have 2 words that we are going to talk about just a little bit. So when you hear the word directions and observe, what comes to your mind? I'm thinking of Me, Jane from last year. We read this book in 1st grade, and in Me, Jane, it was about how Jane Goodall observed animals. She observed. So if I am observing this bottle of water, what am I doing? I'm observing the bottle of water. What was I doing? What does it look like I'm doing? It means that I'm looking at it very closely. I'm watching it to look for change. And for directions, you guys know this word. It's an explanation of how to do something. So if Miss Mason gives you directions on how to create a sculpture, that means I'm going to give you some details on how to make that sculpture, right? So directions are an explanation of how to do something, and observe means to watch carefully. When I think of the words directions and observe, I think about science. I think about how in science we have to observe changes, right? And a lot of time in science, if we're doing an experiment or if we are doing an observation, we have directions that we need to follow to do it the right way. So I want you in our Ed puzzle, this is our final question for the Ed puzzle. I want you to complete a sentence using the words observe or directions. Which word will make sense in the sentence? All right, second grade Smarties, you are amazing learners. Good learners do hard things. Keep that growth mindset, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow. I hope we see some fall changes here soon. See you tomorrow.